The Mystic 8 is one of Letshuoer's newest additions to the high-end IEM lineup. It costs just a little under $1,000 and has 8 balanced armatures for its driver setup, hence the name. Build-wise, Letshuoer went with a full titanium alloy shell here. It's hefty but not too heavy and does feel well built. The faceplate here is interesting. They milled a swirly design into the metal here, but if you look at it from a certain angle, the outer part of it has this outline of a cat, which is pretty cool. I approve of any designs that has animals on it. As for the fit in my ear, I didn't find it to be that much of an issue. The ergonomics is fine. The shell isn't too large, even if the nozzle is at 6mm. The problem that I had with it though is that you needed to do a bit of tip rolling. I find that I needed some slightly larger tips for better bass seal and stability in my ear. It's not really that big of a deal, but it's just something to be aware of. When it comes to sound, the Mystic 8 is a very straightforward sounding IEM. As a mid-4 neutral tuning to it that's a bit light in the bass and a bit bright in the treble. Overall, I find it to be a very refined take on neutrality, though it does have that characteristic sort of BA sound to it. So here's a graph. You can see that it does largely fall within the gray region, and that indicates you're likely not to find it too tonally colored one way or the other. In the upper mids, you can see why I call it a forward-sounding IEM. It does have a vocal hump of sorts, but it doesn't sound too strident to my ears and is smoothened out with that 3 kHz dip. You can think of this as a vocal specialist IEM. I would call this a bass light IEM, but not a bass anemic one. The notes are there, they're well defined, and there's a good punch and nuance to them, but you're not gonna get the big bassy feel or body anytime soon. The other thing to note is the treble. You can see there's a big peak right around 11 kHz, though keep in mind that treble measurements are inaccurate, so take it with a grain of salt. Personally, I don't find this peak to be big, painful, or anything like that, nor do I find the Mystic 8 to be an airy IEM. Instead, however, I do find that this peak does give it a bit of an edginess to its sound. Hats and cymbals do sound kind of crystalline, and vocals have this ever so slightly sibilant edge to it right at the transients. So to me, even though the treble of the Mystic 8 does feel overall controlled, it has this kind of question mark to it where you occasionally hear this overly sharp and etched sort of sound to its treble notes. As for the technical aspects, the Mystic 8 has a sense of a very clean sounding IEM. Imaging is particularly precise to my ears, though soundstage isn't anything too special. Layering is good, all instruments feel like they're well separated. In that sense, resolution is satisfactory, though not outstanding, and dynamics are good, especially given that it's all BA IEM, nothing feels compressed, it's just a bit of a lack in bass quantity. In conclusion, I do like this IEM, but I can't feel like it would be better priced at $300 to $500 where it would be more competitive. For nearly $1,000, that seems a bit much. That being said, there are very few IEMs in the market today with this sort of clean, neutral, mid-forward tuning. So if you're really looking for something like that, the Mystic 8 is worth checking out.